A common debate within the Kamen fandom is what is Kamen O's final form. It's a topic still talked about till this very day. And the post-series legend items of O's, the collectible gimmicks of each rider series, which has, legend gimmicks and all, of legend rider versions where, legend items that are, collectible items that are based off of the past riders is what I'm saying, Why I struggle with that. And some of that will tell you it's Putotyra. And no, this video isn't gonna be some crazy theory or something like that, and this video is not about all of O's forms are his final form, because it is Putotyra. Is the purple dinosaur form, okay? When thinking about Putotyra, what rules are there to make it a final form? Okay, number one, it's plot and symbolism to the main character. Number two, it's the most strongest form of the main rider, or at least, in strongest form of a certain rider within that series. The strongest rider form in that show. What I'm saying. And number three. Okay, number three is that it must debut in episodes 30 to 39. The 30 episode mark is what I'm saying. So there are exceptions to main rider final forms debuting before the 30 episode mark. Or after. With the after being like Kuga, Geo, and 01. And then before Decade, Kiva, and Kabuto. Yes, I'm counting the fact that we see a future version of Kabuto use the form before actually seeing the present day Kabuto, as well as the transformation sequence within the show itself. So, yeah, I'm counting that. Yeah. Anyways, those rules are very prominent, so yeah. Like, really prominent. Also, on the editor's note, Super Tatoban Hajidol Eternity are extra final form, so will not account for this list, and they debut after the series, so yeah, I will not be mentioning them. They're clearly extra final forms, and they're arguably stronger than Putotyra, and Eternity may also be the strongest O's Rider form ever, so yeah. Okay, look at Tajidol, and I'll look at the reason why people would personally think it should be the final form, and believe it is. And and perhaps the only reason why, because, it's a blind symbolism, it's Eiji's bond with Ankh, it just makes perfect sense for it to be the final form and all. Yeah, but Tajidol didn't debut in the early 20 episode mark, so it's like how super forms typically do, and again, borrowing some exceptions, like Kuga Amazing Mighty, Toe Burning, Kiva Dogabaki, and Double Fang Joker. And yes, Tajidol does have a drawback, like some super forms do. Yes. So yeah. Also, super forms tend to be the second strongest form of the main rider, or just the in-series rider and rider series main riders of types of those riders of those series overall sometimes. So yeah, Tajidol's like only second to Putotyra, so yeah. So what does Putotyra have? I gotta go that flare. Okay, the plot begins. So, Putotyra just makes just as much sense. But then there are other writers who also could have this where super form could potentially thematically be the final form. Like, like maybe I should do a video on that. Other main writers specifically. I mean, so let's look at that. Excuse me. I wish I could edit that out, but whoopsies. You see, as Putotyra is supposed to be the representation of Eiji's lack of selfish desire, and is him having a selfless desire of, protecting the people he cared about, including Donk. And also there's a little connection between Putotyra and, Tajdol, Hajidol is like a bird, and, birds evolved from dinosaurs, which is what Putotyra is. Gotta find a little thing. It's kind of also doubles. His predecessor Double, which, had a bird like, the extreme memory is bird like, while, Fang is like a raptor like, the vice for Fang Joker, kind of a little coincidence. Also, Jew Ranger came after Jetman. A lot of bird dinosaur connections in Doku. Anyways, Putotyra is also like really damn strong, and like, at least I mean it could potentially be like stronger than Tajidol. We never see. I mean, yeah, we never see the two battle because they're the same person unless Eiji uses Gakuhiraban. I butchered that. And there's also I could do that, but also Tajidol can do the black hole thing with the like Putotyra metals. The metals of the lack of desire, well, selfish desire, at least. Because, Eiji's selfless desire to protect people. It's like, and while it debuted in the 30 episode mark. So, yeah. Debut like most Final Forms do, so, yeah, and the whole story was about Eiji learning to control the form, so it actually has significance. So Putotyra actually had learning to control Putotyra actually had very significance to the story compared to most Final Forms, where it's just they debate, boom, it's all awesome. But when Eiji first became Putotyra, it's like he went on a rampage and almost attacked his friends. So yeah, so like Putotyra actually had much more significance to these debate, and importance actually had more significance compared to most, like in Kiva, it's supposed to be Kiva's Emperor form. It's like the true form of Kiva. I mean, so yeah, that's like that. But and it's always been used, and then we all know the potential story about why Kiva's Emperor form debuted like one episode away from the beginning of the second half of Kiva. So yeah, watching videos about that. And we got Kuga, who is a very similar situation to Oz. I'm thinking, what? I should also write a video on why Kuga and Oz are the same. Honestly, yeah, I gotta make sure I didn't do this before, so, yeah. Or anyone else that done that for that matter. Anyways, Kuga's ultimate form had the ability to, could potentially make the user go on a rampage unless you're like Yusuke Godai, I mean, we see Kuga go on a rampage with ultimate form with the black eyes and all, but that was post-series, and that was an alternate Kuga long story. Anyways, we all know that Kuga is final form, ultimate form debuted. The latest debate of the main writer's final form. Quote, I said main. He was overall till Gotcha came along and changed that forever. And then we got Blade, which also has very significance. I mean, out of all the final forms, Putotyra and well, Blade King form have the most significance and like a very feel much more significant compared to other final forms. I mean, like again, where Kiva's just constantly using Emperor form all the time because it was the true form of Kiva. I mean, I'm not sure if that counts or not. So yeah, I mean, basically, Blade's King form slowly turns into Joker Undead, and well, I think if you watch it, you know what it is. So I'm not gonna say it. And then we got Deno's like minor form, which represents Rotaro's being independent of the his imagines now, and he can like still use their power, but in the sword's always fighting on his own now. And we got Devil's like final form, which like but spoilers, like the extreme memory kind of what temporarily did fully kill Philip. So, and then we got Gaim like Kiwamiarn, which again slowly turns someone into a god or a monster or whatnot. Could potentially do that. And then we got Xade's like Muteki Gamer, which like like occurred by again to beat his dad. And then we got Rainbow Gotchard, who's designed. I just wish better represent Nijigan, by the way, and just saying. You can see a post I did you can see a redesign on Instagram and see a comment about my comment about it. And well, Nijigan's like the final Kemi, and supposed to like represent Hotaro's is a similar case too, but Putotyra represents, Hotaro's desire to protect the Kemis and whatnot, and he's like, and it's like, the final Kemi is like, has the Philosopher's Stone and all that, And then I got Gates 9, like, since like Ace is like, he meets his mom, gets the Boost Mach 3 buckle, and he gets a second true form, Gates 9, and like he becomes a god again. The Rider becomes a god. And then Boost Mach 2 is like also kind of thematic again. Super form could potentially be the final form thematically thing. I'm gonna do a video on that. If I didn't, I gotta make sure I check. If anyone does that, darn it, my hair is being distracting. Darn it! Again. Anyway, 02, basically, like Aruto has like, the next version of Kamen of 01, basically appears in like the final 6 episodes. Yet the toy was released like sooner, and as COVID happened, and I believe 02 was supposed to debut in the movie, and whatnot, blah blah blah. But like Kiva's like toy debut, the Tatsulat Brace debut 2 weeks after the the Kiva that performed debuted, basically, situations like that happen. Anyways, yeah, Putotyra and Blade's King form really feel like they're actually do really carry on after their first appearances more than their final form, in my opinion. Like like they're slowly turning into like like slowly just ignore that again. Just so slowly turning into a Joker thing, and well, the whole learn to control the thing that turns you into a like a dinosaur greed, like the Kyoryu greed, like they both turn you into monsters. That's a thing they have in common. Everything they have in common, I meant to say. But luckily, he got rid of his monster form at the end of the series, so hooray! But he's dead after the series, and now like an undead, like Blade. I know, too soon. I know. Yeah, so because of those 3 rules, Putotyra is the final form. No questions asked. No more conspiracy theorist nonsense. No. All final forms are final form thing, reference to earlier thing, or some other crazy nonsense. I mean, technically the 3 final form thing is true, just not for Tajidol. It's what you're turning instead. So, there's the extra final form thing category and all. Look it on Writer Wiki. It's a thing. Anyways, I've ran along for too long and had some unnecessary things I wish I could cut out for time, but I wanted to release this video out and I ran out of time, and you know the drill. Anyway, and thanks for watching, and be sure to hit that, I should also do a comparison on, might do a better, more updated comparison on the similarities between these arcs of Oath's final form and Blade's final form. So I might do a more in-depth video about that, unless somebody wants to take influence from that and from me and want to do it themselves with actual footage of the show, but find a way to avoid copyright. Then there you go. If I inspire any of your ideas, then that's good for you. Anyways, be sure, this is the end of the video, be sure to hit that Kuga thumbs up button, aka the like button, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification button. Again, with the culty saying stuff, God. And let me know stuff in the comment section down below. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm Tyler Awesome 2. Why did I say that fast? I am Tyler is Awesome 2, and peace.